morning, and g'day, mate. Welcome to a slightly different start with me, and of course, the wonderfully lit up Icarus. Today's episode, we've flown all the way back to the Magna system because our Dyson web is complete. Our Dyson web has been complete for quite some time, actually, and I'm still producing a lot of rockets. So we need to definitely come into this menu and start adding some more framework. Yes. So I'm thinking we're going to go, oh, that's number one. What's in number one? Hang on, is number one the one we can't delete? Yeah. Okay, number two, our very, very close ring. The first thing I want to do is I just want to add just some more basic structure. These, well, actually, if we click on the info, these only require 30 rockets. Considering we're launching, I have no idea how many rockets per second. They're not going to take long to build. So we're just going to do probably a couple of rings around just to, you know, make sure the rockets are still moving and boosting and firing and stuff. So I'm going to click a whole lot, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so that's one ring done. That's definitely off center. I think we're going to have to add at least a second ring. So, yeah. Alright, well, I think that's probably enough. You know, I did some clicking and some clicking and some clicking and decided that's probably enough nodes, and then I sort of went for a mega node at the pole. On number one, you know, good old number one, the one that we can't delete, we have this center node here that needs 11,000 rockets, which should take us, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I haven't finished this design. Obviously, I really wish I could just look at, like, make the other ones disappear, please. I really wish I could, yeah, make the other ones disappear. And I sort of, as I said, I don't know if I'm happy with this design. I'm going to build it first. I'm going to build it first, and if I don't like it, I'll delete it. It only costs rocket parts. Rocket parts are fairly cheap at this point. But I also really, really, really hope the devs add some sort of way to copy, paste, blueprint, mirror Dyson Sphere components, because, or Dyson, the actual Dyson structure itself, because this is painful and slow, and after this much clicking, I was done. So much RSI. So today's episode, whilst, which is it? It is one of these stars. Magna number 6 is going to start mass launching rockets. In the meantime, we're going to go over to Magna number 1, because today I want to work on missing the planet entirely. Today I want to work on just... yeah, point blank. There we go. Okay, today, come on, accelerate. We need to catch the planet. I want to work on ray receivers. As you can see, Magna number 1 is my lovely planet inside the Dyson Sphere. Come on, I need to speed up a little bit and catch the planet. I need to actually display. Come on. There we go. Okay, so this is my ray receiver planet. Okay, this is one, or it makes a whole lot of critical photons because it's around a blue sun. Blue sun makes a lot of. No, I don't want to look at the planet. I want to look at the sun. No, sun. It has a very large radius, which has nothing to do with how much power it makes, but it has a very high luminosity. So because it has a high luminosity, it makes plenty of power. On top of that, if we miss the planet, oh no, we're sailing past it. On top of that, because it's inside my Dyson Sphere, if we duck around the rear side of the planet, please find a rare receiver on the dark side of the planet. That'd be awesome. Excellent. As you can see, we're in the tropical zone. It is the middle of the night here, but if I click on one of these, they have 100% continuous receiving because they're inside the sphere. So either they can face the sun and get power from the sun, or the little eyes on the top of the tower, well, still they technically aim at the sun, which is through the planet, but they can just pop power straight from the Dyson Sphere, which is directly above them. So, I've intentionally built mine inside my Dyson Sphere because I can, and because it means that, yes, they run all the time. It also means that this planet is basically my dedicated my dedicated power planet. This is going to be the one that I'm going to use it to make critical photons. As you can see, we're not really short on critical photons, but more never hurt. More never hurt. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I want to get more critical photons. As you can see, my Dyson Sphere, we're using 117 gigawatts out of the 138 gigawatts. We have 98.8% efficiency. So each ray receiver is actually pulling in 121 megawatts of 121 megawatts, so it's getting the full amount that's requesting, and it's converting 120 megawatts of the 121 into critical photons. So each ray receiver is going to do 6 critical photons per minute, which means, although I screwed up the maths many episodes ago, it means that we need 300 of these guys to do a full belt's worth. If we bring up blueprint mode, and I just sort of drag across a large portion of the planet, like so, I already have 946 of these guys. So I'm already pulling in, what, three and a bit belts worth of critical photons, but I want to make sure that we never run out of critical photons. I also want to have a blueprint. So we're going to head to the pole, because, well, the poles are an odd spot where building things is quite difficult, and 9 times out of 10 you don't bother. But it's really good for putting in ray receivers. So we want, in this pole, I want to export critical photons. I also want to have the option to import graviton lenses. Now, graviton lenses, let's pop down one of those guys. So graviton lenses, what graviton lenses do is they go into the input of the ray receiver. The other one is the output. Okay, and if we set you to photon generation, eventually we're going to photon out the output belt. And no, graviton lenses don't pass in the building and out the other side. Critical photons don't pass through the buildings either. One is an input, one is an output. They're either end can be input, either end can be output. There's no right or wrong way to doing it, but one end is in, one end is out. Okay. There we go, critical photon. What the graviton lenses do is, one, if the planet has atmosphere, how to check whether it has atmosphere. If it has a wind energy ratio of above 0%, i.e. anything, then it has an atmosphere. If it has an atmosphere, you can put a graviton lens into a ray receiver. Once doing that, they will run even when they don't have direct sunlight. So even if they can't see the sun, they will be able to receive power from the Dyson Sphere. Now, that's great. That's handy. It's really, really good. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to double the amount of requested power that it's going to request from the Dyson Sphere, and also double the output. But if your Dyson Sphere doesn't have any available power to kick out, it's not going to actually improve your situation. So graviton lenses is going to double the output, therefore halve the amount I need. So rather than needing 300 of these guys, I'd only need 150 if I fed them with graviton lenses. As the devs have done a number of patches, graviton lenses, I think you started needing, they started going through half a minute, maybe it was a quarter per minute, and it's been patched and patched and patched and patched, but it's now down to 0.1 per minute. At 0.1 per minute, it's actually quite effective to use graviton lenses, because for 150 of these guys, therefore halving the amount of space that I need, I only need 0.6 of a graviton lens per second, which is not too bad. If you remember in our black box builds, we have this lovely build here that does 7.5 graviton lenses per second. Yes, it's a giant build. Graviton lenses are not very easy to make, but you have to make them for green science anyway. And, well, for every green science, for every 1 graviton lens you're making, you're outputting what, 24? No, two gravity matrices. So if you're doing 1, 2, 3 science per second, you could probably spare 0.6 of a graviton lens per second. It's not a big demand. So what I want to do is I want to come to here. I want to set up some inputs because we're going to need more ray receivers. I'm just going to import them to this tower because it makes my life easy. It means we don't have to go fishing for them. I'm also going to probably need splitters. So let's get a load of splitters in. We'll set it to 100, but I think I get 200 shipped out. I'm not sure. No, just 100. And the other thing I'm going to want in this tower is definitely going to be warpers. We're going to want warpers here so I can fly the critical photons around the galaxy. Local demand, remote supply. Okay, so with that done, what I want to do is I want to have an output belt. Okay, output belt is going to carry graviton lenses. Then I want an input belt for critical photons. Okay, at the same time, I want to space out that I have 150 ray receivers in this sort of semicircle. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the goal. So we're going to come here. We're going to grab one of these to start with. And I think I'm going to come all the way down to here. Okay, I'm going to start those two off. The other thing I'm going to have to do is change the recipes to make sure they're both photon generation, because that's our plan, what we're going to do. The other thing I'm going to have to do is the graviton lenses need to go through a splitter, because I'm going to have to split them to put into this tower, and then also have a feedback belt that's going to output the critical photons, which we can just sideload into the main belt. So we need to work out without spending... Actually, we're going to do that and that at least, because that'll save me some time and effort. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that over there. So what I need to do is I need to work out how to get 75 at least on half my semicircle. And where are our break lines? So we have a break line here. Just to there. I just want to mark where the belts, or where we move from one tropic to another. I know I get the yellow lines when we're in blueprint mode, but having some physical belts that I can't place over... Actually, no, because I might want to place over. Yes. Okay, alright. So, we're going to start with you two. And I think I'm going to come out... Okay, no, I need to also work out and make sure you and your friend on the other side are the right distance apart. Okay, so we've got those two at the right distance apart. If I put these two here... Yeah, no, let's do that instead. Let's start further down the planet. There. Okay, and your friend... Sure. No. Hard no. Very hard no. Okay. Let's go back up the planet. Okay, so we're going to put our first one here. Our second one, we won't put one in this gap, so we're going to come down even further. I want to try and keep things as lined up as possible. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but that should happen. And then there? Sure. Okay, can I do that without the game complaining? No, the game complains instantly. But it does sort of show me where things are going to line up. So let's remove you guys. Let's bring this back up. Let's slide this over a little bit. Then hit the plus button a lot so we spread them out. No, I think I want to go one more tile. One less tile. Okay, so that's that tile, that's that tile. Let's go with there. Okay, so that's going to be our first. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, let's get this stuff out and do that and make that go away. Because that's definitely going to get in our way. Alright, and I want to try and line up the first one with the second one with the third one. So we're going to come straight down from there, which would be here. We'll drag that. We'll hit the plus button. That sort of looks like it's lined up left side to right side, so we'll just okay that right there. Now I can always put in a sneaky one at the end. Okay. Oops, wrong button. And then we'll remove those and come from here down till we get to there. Drag that as well, hit the plus button. Visualization, great, you're in my screen. That's going to be a little bit more difficult because I don't know. Alright, let's hit the plus button, minus button. Yeah, here to here is way more than 15, so I can't really use blueprints to gauge it out. Let's try... Wait, let's try this. Let's copy from there to there. So now how many we have to start with? So it's 38! So I need... I need to not do maths at 2 AM again. 75 minus 38, so I need 37. And they put in pairs. Pairs is a bad number. Okay. Putting them in pairs doesn't really help me. But if I needed half that again, that'd be 18. So we could do 18. So I needed 38. 37, and then I need to do 18 copies of it. Well, we already know that that was 15, so it's going to be hard to get 18 copies if that's already 15. Okay, maybe we're going about this the wrong way. Maybe rather than lining things up from the sides, we should line things up from the middle. You cannot go there, you're too close to the belt. So we might as well drag you... You too close to the belt? In theory, no. There. You're in on that line, so you would be on, gosh, that line. Yeah, no, that accepted. Okay, we're gonna roll with that. All right. No, wrong button. I need to come back in here. I need to remove those guys, put them straight back down, hit the plus button whilst dragging to the left. So I get the spacing. Cool. And then we're going to drag to the right instead. We now know we can drag to there. Okay. So now we're going to bring up blueprinting. We're going to copy from there to there, which is now 44. We've got a whole new number. 75 minus 44 equals 31. That's even less I need to place down. That's probably actually a problem. Because further down the planet, I can put even more of them. Okay, so let's space these at least on one side to be slightly further apart. Come on, Icarus, I need you to walk over here. Okay, so, what the hell happened there? Paste. That's the line. Okay, so we're going to drag them to the left first. Hit the plus button so we have the same spacing. Hit the plus button once more and drag to the right. And then remove these guys, which then now not a concern. Come back to here. Remove the... Oh. I don't don't know what I keep hitting, but I keep hitting it hard. Okay, I need to get that spacing. Yeah, I know, you can't place them there. To get those two, to then remove those two, to then start again. Hit the plus button so we get the right spacing, and then drag that way instead. Okay, and we now have 40, which now means I need 35. Well, 35 is a bad number, still. It's 32. Wait, so 32 would be 16. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay, so let's... I need to put... 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. One more plus. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so if I do that, then I remove those guys again, then we do this again, and then we drag it out until we match up with that side, then drag it to that side, then bring up Blueprint, copy everything from there to there. Magic number is 70. I'm 5 short. I didn't want to be 5 short, I want to be slightly less than 5 short. Okay, so at 5 short, can we copy that and add no, that's far too close to line. Okay, so we need to go back to the drawing board and work out. I have room up here to potentially get in some like an odd amount. I'm gonna need an odd amount. How much an odd amount I need, I'm not sure. Okay, so I need to copy that, and then delete that. Copy that, paste. Okay, so that goes there. We're going to drag it to left first. We're going to hit the plus button, and then we're going to hit the minus button once, and then we're going to go that way. Back to here, and we'll move you guys again. We'll go to there. We're gonna drag it to the right first, hit the plus till we get them to line up, then go to left, and then we've got all that in. We should be able to blueprint from there to there, and that's 74. I just need one. One we can do. One we can do easily. One. Okay, so in theory, we have a blueprint. So what we need to do is, that is the graviton lens side. So I need to remove that, pop the lack of item. Oh, okay. Did that arrive? It did. Clear. Cool. Alright, put in a splitter there. So we're going to bring in graviton lenses. They're going to come into here. We've already added the belts that go into the two ray receivers, so it should be a case of just build these belts around. There to there. No, that's the end, because that's a whole separate belt. And as for the output, this is going to go over a grid shift line, so I'm going to intentionally Keep it very, no, I'm going to build the whole thing in the wrong direction. Okay, we need to come out this guy. We're going to build it very, very close to the ray receivers, so people can't see that the belts have a little bit of a wiggly wobbly in there. But after we have the belts built, like I said, they're so close, nobody should know. Nobody should know. Okay, and then we do need to get... you're lucky, you can actually go straight in there. And we can just do that. Yeah, we can just do that for that one's graviton lens. Okay, so that gets the first, technically 3 rows. Two rows done. Third row, we need to bring that belt out as well. Wrap it around the planet. Keeping it close to our chest, so to speak. Bring it into... click to build, that one. Bring it in. Add belts in here, and here, and here, and here, here, crap. Wait, what I need to do is, before I go any further, I need to remove that. Yeah, I should have done this before I started putting in belts. Because I want to blueprint everything from there... from here, let's say, to... not the tower, to about there. Hit paste. Drag it around. No, that is correct. Okay, and pop that there. Okay, all the belts are going to be going the wrong way. Very, very much so. 100 should do me, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, all the belts are going to be going the wrong direction. Because it's a... hang on, you go in there. So it's a 1-for-1 copy. It's not a mirror. If I could mirror it, it would reverse all the belts, but it's a rotational copy. And because it's a rotational copy, also means that every single one of these belts, I have to remove that bit and put that in there. Because if I join that to there, it then removes the belt that was in the machine. So then I have to replace the belt a second time. Okay. You also need to go to there. Okay, so that's that row done. Also means there all the way the wrong way. This is why I said I should have blueprinted it first. Because once it's blueprinted, all my upsy-downsy belts, they're fine. They're not going to change direction. It's just the ones that run around the planet. There to there. 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 Probably shouldn't be building this half. Should be confirming the first half works fine first. Alright, doesn't matter. We're going to bring that out and around this rotation. And tuck that in there. That's your output. That's your output. 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 More out. Some more out. And that's that. Okay, so then that brings us down to here. At this point, we can put in another splitter, which should be going both directions. Both that direction and that direction. But we only need to prove that one half of the build works. Like, I'm pretty sure if I can get one half of the build to work, I can wander around and do the other half. We're going to build these around, which have been way easier because I don't have to do a midway click. There, to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. We've got to be getting close to the end. Ah! No, that's still not the end. that's the end. Okay, so that's the... that's the graviton lenses in. This is the critical photons obviously out. You can tell by the piles of critical photons that are flowing out of each one of these ray receivers. And I think we're going to be bringing in way more critical photons than what I need currently, but that's fine. That's fine. The idea is we have a nice blueprint, a very, very nice blueprint that I can share with you guys. You guys can use. Well, this is going to be interesting. Before we get to that one, let's put in that. So that's graviton lenses. Let's do this row of graviton lenses because lack of item. Well, luckily enough, we have a magic deliveries tower that delivers all the good things, and we can just keep building. So, alright, there's an important question I need to answer. You were there. You can go up a tile. It's technically, and it's come out of tile and then turn. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove... Put that there. And remove that. Let's let up on top. Then I'm going to drag that to there, which then means your output goes on that tile. Yes, okay. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to grab a splitter. I'm going to put a splitter here, which needs an input and an input. Because yes, I think I'm going to change... How do I copy that spacing across? What's the best way to do that? The best way to do that... Aha! Okay, right, we're good, we're good. We can remove all of this. Because I need it just one tile higher up. I wonder if we can do 2 tiles higher up. That's a question. No, I can already see that I can't. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to copy that, paste it here, drag it, hit the plus button because the spacing on the left side is going to match the spacing on the right side. Undo that. I clicked and it moved. Drag that to there. Then drag that back. Then go back to that fault line. Make sure we line things up. And drag it to left again. Hit the plus button so we get a lined up. And then drag it that way. Okay, so in theory, that works. And more importantly, in theory, it has. It's moved everything up just one tile. That's all I needed, just one tile. Okay, so that means that goes there. We can then bring that in and around to there. And then to there. And then there. And there. And there. And so on and so forth. I know, bots are flying off to do other construction jobs. It's fine, I've got like 40 bots. It doesn't affect me continuing to build. Alright. Nope, that's not the end of the world. That's the end of the world. Okay, which does mean that this part's the easy part. So that goes to there. That goes to there. We also know that that's the end of the critical photons. You are making critical photons, you're just slow. So that goes to there, into there, so on and so forth, and rinse and repeat. And no, I have tried blueprinting these in the past. It can be done. It's just to blueprint them and get them. You can't get them to line up with a belt that curves. Okay, you have to blueprint it, including one bit of belt on the end that they hook into. And getting things to line up and actually work is a nightmare. Let me tell you. Dyson Sphere blueprinting system. It's great that we've got it. But it's definitely early access. You can see what the devs are. They're doing work on it. They're doing a good job, but it's still got some small tweaks to go. Okay, so those two obviously line up. That's just convenient. As we work our way around the planet, you're going to line up. We'll call that lining up. Sure. The swoop is to make sure that they accelerate as they go around the corner. No, you need to swoop the other direction. Yes, there we go. Swoop to accelerate. That's straight because you're in that grid. Yeah, so this should work. I should be able to drag this all the way through and into... Where are we? We'll get there eventually. Into that belt. So it should be straight, straight... Some of these will be straight, some of these will have a slight curve. There we go. There, and that one lines straight up with it. That one goes, well, there. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That one too. That one and that one. Now, before somebody in the comments section says, JD, your belts are not like grid-aligned belts. Is that going to affect the blueprint? No idea. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, but what I do is I make these blueprints and then every single one of them gets picked up and actually dumped somewhere on another planet as a test. As a test, just to confirm that if things are going to break, they break for me before they go out to you guys. Okay, so that needs to go a graviton lens. We are gonna actually import some graviton lenses. That's plenty. That's really plenty. Like 500 is heaps. We're gonna dump all of those that I've managed to pick up in my inventory in there. And in theory, we should start getting some lenses out and into these guys, which should... It's not going to increase the rate their continuous receiving goes up, because that's sort of maxed out currently, because we're inside a Dyson Sphere. But it should mean that we can confirm that all the splitters work as intended, all the belt works as intended. We should be able to see graviton lenses everywhere. What does that do? That goes, well, to there. So yeah, we should be able to see that everything works as intended and everything should be hunky-dory. Now, I don't have any need to do any prioritizing on the splitters because, like I said, we're going to use 0.6 per second. It's just going to take a second for the system to back up, and it really doesn't worry me that, you know, a certain amount of going... well, 30% is going that way, 30% is going that way, and 30% is going that way, because that's going to back up, that's going to back up, at which point 100% will come this way. And yeah, you guys are all got graviton lenses. Yeah, we're just slowly backing up the system. How many do you use? Oh, 20. Wow, that's a lot more than I thought. Okay. Alright, where were we up to? We were... They're all done. That's done. This row's not done. Okay, so let's get this row built. Because you guys can't output yet. You don't have lenses. Ah, they're just coming in now. Okay, and perfect example, we got 92 megawatts. And when the lens flows through, lens, anytime now. Lens. Like, your friend's 185. You see the lens. Gosh. Obviously guess they didn't all make it here as fast as I'd hoped. No, all 1,000 got distributed onto the belts. But yes, as you can see, as soon as we get a lens in here, we're doing 187 megawatts compared to this guy only doing 93. So it just instantly doubles the max output along with the requested power. So they start pulling in power a lot faster. But it only helps if your Dyson Sphere actually has available power to distribute, so to speak. We'll just keep laying in belts one at a time. I know I still have to fix one half. I think it's this. Yeah, it's this half of the bottom row, so we haven't got there yet. We'll just keep adding in these belts so these guys can dump off their ray receiver, their critical photons at least. Now, the other thing with the graviton lenses is, and this is going to be the important one, even if the towers are maxed out, okay? Hey, there we go. Numbers just doubled. Even if the towers are maxed out, even if they can't output a critical photon, it's going to keep consuming graviton lenses, okay? It's one of those, you know, they're consumed no matter what situations, even if even if the ray receiver can't output. So, oh crap, this is the road that's going to get ripped up. Well, that was pointless, JD, wasn't it? Okay. You guys, yeah, you have graviton lenses. Not a lot, but we're going to get there. Okay, so I need to remove... Actually, I should be able to remove the whole lot. So we're just going to start from the equator and work our way out left and right. The fault line. This line here. Okay, so if we go to any pair, it shouldn't really matter. Paste. First thing I need to do is I need to line up that spacing and right click to get rid of it, and then come back to here and make sure we're high. How high up the planet do we have to be? To line that up with that tile. So we have to come to here and drag that out. Cool. And then first thing you need to do is actually remove those, copy them again, paste them in the right tile, drag again, get the spacing correct again, and then go the opposite direction, and that should be good to go. So the last thing I have to do is come out here and grab that belt. Oh, really? This one little belt hanging on the end? Oh, that's been duplicated through the whole build. Oh. Alright, well, at least it's placed down now. We can remove 30 copies of 2 little belt segments, I guess. There to there to there to there. So the biggest use of the graviton lenses in this build is just the sheer amount that are going to sit on the belts. That's what it really comes down to. And again, I don't want to prioritize the belts because I don't want to have graviton lenses forced onto, say, the top ring and then just to sit on the belts where they could be distributed more evenly across the whole system. Nope, that's as far as you go. More evenly across the whole system by just sorting themselves out, splitting into 33, 33, 33, or 1/3 each, and then splitting again, and then as the belts back up, that's when they will, then the main feed belt out will suddenly get, 100% of the feed. So yeah, we should be able to do this. There we go. That one, that one, that one, that one. That one. Yeah, so as these belts back up, this main feed belt should get 100% of the feed. Okay, so I need belt there, belt there, belt there, belt there. Unfortunately, because I just put these guys down, Yeah, they've reset their continuous receiving, which is a shame. Because they've probably been built long enough that they were maxed out. Because it doesn't take them long to max out. And I really sort of wish the graviton lenses, maybe they do, I can't remember. Technologies. Lens is... Where is the lens? It's down here somewhere, isn't it? It's needed for green sites. But only make sure it's that one. Can produce a particular... It doesn't help us. F. Blah blah blah. No. I think the advisor gives you the tooltip that tells you. Or I was one belt away from the end. Okay. I think the tooltip gives you the advisor gives you the tooltip that explains how the graviton lenses work. So we just need to put a power pole, because at the moment, as you can see, that little white dot isn't. The little grey dot doesn't have a white dot in it, so that means that tower doesn't have power. So I'm going to put in 4 power poles. And then because every single one of these is in photon generation mode, we don't actually output any power into that tower. But, if I can just find, haha, a tower right here. If I first off power up that tower, because we can now, and also we've definitely settled this planet, so let's bring in warpers, throw in ships, max out the charge rate, drop the warper, and I should be able to, hang on, I want to see that tower up the top. Yep, top left. If I put a power pole there, you suddenly get power, because these guys transfer power like a power pole. They don't actually help with, actually no, we're going to do white concrete. Yeah, that is actually going down here. They don't, they're in photon generation mode, so they don't produce power, but they will transmit and transfer the power, which is really, honestly, all we're looking for. So what I want to do is I just want to fill in and foundation up everything. And I think we can call this here for build. So this will give you, if you feed it graviton... Oh, of course he did. Of course he did. There we go. We can pretend we never saw that. Helps if I set that back up. This build will give you a full belt of critical photons if you feed it 0.6 of a graviton lens per second. If you don't feed it, it's going to give you half a belt. But half a belt is better than no belt. Anyway, I think, as I said, we're going to leave this here. I'm just going to foundation up everything. As always, blueprints will be in Discord, so you can always jump over to Discord and grab this particular blueprint if you want a copy. I've got to say, I'm very, very proud of it. I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. I am definitely glad I took the time to build it. Even though, as I said, I've already got 3 belts worth of critical photons. I don't think I'm short. The only thing I was really short of in this particular system was more rockets flying because, well, we're making lots of rockets still. So, you know, might as well launch them because they're not going to do anything sitting in a tower. Hang on, let's just finish up. Oh, I missed a bit. Cool. Yeah, I missed another bit. It's the problem with doing the foundation afterwards. You miss bits, you don't realize. Okay. Yeah, I do like that. Actually, the fact that the critical photons, like, you can see them on one side of the build very, very blatantly, whereas the other side of the build is darker because it has the graviton lenses on it. But yes, I'm going to call it here for this this episode. At the same time, if we zoom out a little bit, we can see that we're just launching a ridiculous amount of rockets. Absolutely ridiculous amount of rockets. North. There we go. Yeah, ridiculous amount of rockets. I have no idea how many rockets we actually need to build in this structure that I built. Oh, actually considering, wow. Well, that's what happens when you need 1,000 rockets to do just the top of the... Yeah. But considering how quickly we're launching rockets and how much that looks like, I don't know, something a goth chick might wear around her neck. Yeah. I think we'll probably have the new structure built in, like, next episode. Anyway, I am definitely going to call it here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the very next video. And remember, I'm JD. And say hi to your mum for me. Alright, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching. Bye.